Go ahead.
We'll use that.
Yeah.
So we're here today with my friend Margot. This is Margot. So what do you do, Margot?
I am the associate pastor at First Assembly of God, and I'm also the district youth director for the Wyoming district.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It means I do conventions, camps, and fine arts for the whole state of Wyoming, and then I also help train youth leaders for what they do.
So you're kind of the youth pastor's pastor.
Yes.
For the state. Okay. So this month we're in BGMC, we're learning about Fiji. I've heard you've been there.
Yes, 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
Okay. So what made you decide to go the first time?
I wanted to go on a missions trip, and a friend of mine from Oregon was leading a trip, and so I decided I'd take 2 of my youth and myself, because I wanted to just go experience one time, and so I asked if I could tag along with 2 of my youth, and he let me.
So how long ago was that?
10, 11 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a missions trip. Did you meet up with a missionary over there?
Yes, we worked with the Slaters, who are also missionaries from my home state in Oregon.
Okay.
But she also grew up here in Wyoming. Nola did.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, kind of a home away from home in Fiji with people from Oregon and Wyoming.
Yes, I originally met them in Oregon when I was growing up. They came to our church, and then I found out that she was from here.
Now that's really cool because our True Mission story this month is about the Slaters.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's really neat.
Yeah.
So you'll have to stay tuned for the True Missionary story there. So what do you do when you go over there?
Well, actually, each trip is different.
Okay.
I have done everything from help build buildings, paint buildings, to doing children's crusades, to going into schools and doing assemblies, and even into a Hindu school where it was the first time they ever heard the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow.
That was a lot of fun, and they wanted just American people to come in, and we did it, and they asked us back, so
that's cool.
That was really cool.
So what language do they speak over there?
Well, they speak Fijian, and English is the national language, but very few people speak it. And the Fijian, and then there's also this, it's half Fijian and half Indian from India.
Okay.
Because the Fijians brought over the Indians to work in their fields many years ago.
Okay.
So there's also...
So that it's a mix to try and communicate.
Yes.
So kind of like redneck.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Is Fiji kind of is it like Wyoming, real dry and flat?
No. Fiji is very tropical. It's island. There's a lot of trees, flowers, fruit. It's just very tropical. It's very humid.
What's the weirdest fruit you've found over there?
I don't know. There was one that I don't remember the name of.
Okay.
It was good, but their grapefruit was like none I've ever tasted before in my life. It was the best. And they have very good pineapple.
What's the weirdest meal you've had over there that you can remember?
Well, I can't say this for sure, but I'm pretty sure I ate dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be an interesting one.
Yep.
Now, when you go on these missions trips, where do you stay?
Well, each time is different.
Okay.
The first time I stayed in a hotel. The second time I stayed with the Slaters for half the time in hotel, the other half. The last 2 times I stayed on campus at South Pacific Bible College, and we would stay in whatever they had available.
Okay.
The last time was no hot water, most of the time no running water.
A building or a hut or?
It's a building.
Building.
Yep.
Okay. What's your favorite moment from over there?
My favorite moment.
Yeah.
It's hard to put into just one moment. Probably my favorite moment was when there was this little girl who we couldn't communicate at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing a school assembly. And she just came up to me and just, I don't know, it was just like one of those moments where you don't have to say anything. She grabbed my hand, and from then on we were best friends. There was no barrier, there was nothing. It was just pure and simple, and I love that.
So what you're saying is Jesus can break down any barriers. He can
Yes.
go beyond any walls, communication,
Mm-hmm.
and just make a connection to anyone.
Yes, absolutely. And another part, one that I always remember, was the first trip we went on. We had toothbrushes and toothpaste to hand out to a village,
Mm-hmm.
and we actually had to hike into the village through the beach because there's no access road to them.
Oh.
And so we hiked into the village, and their main crop was sugarcane, but they didn't have any oral care whatsoever for their village.
Mm-hmm.
And so mothers were literally crying because they'd never been able to keep their kids' teeth well. But then we were traveling from village to village to village in the jungle, and kids by the dozen were just following us from village to village to village. And so by the time we got back to our cars, we literally probably had about 50 to 60 kids just following us
Wow.
out of the bush. It was
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have another trip planned to go back to Fiji?
Not anytime soon.
Okay.
I'm hoping maybe sometime, but not anytime
Nothing
soon.
planned.
Mhm.
Okay. So you've been to Fiji. Have you been to any other places?
Yes.
Where have those been?
I've been to Kenya, Rwanda, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Norway.
Wow. Well, we may have to get some more information from you on those for BGMC later. But thank you for joining us and giving us more information and firsthand experience about Fiji.